In our last video in this series, we concluded that there were approximately 13 million true members of the church and not the 15 million as claimed. For President Uchtdorf's numerical measure of truthfulness to carry its full weight, these 13 million members, or at least a high percentage of them, must be active, full-fledged members. The church collects data on church attendance and activity status, but does not make the data publicly available. Therefore, it is difficult to ascertain what the true status of activity is in the church. That the church doesn't release this type of information is telling. The church trumpets its gross membership numbers and growth rates, but withholds activity rates. It likely does so since the totals and growth rates support its narrative of a growing, vibrant church, while the activity rates do not. This point is continually emphasized by the visual images put out by the church, where congregations, local and general, are brimming with members. Its article on the growth of the church, for example, shows a packed General Conference Center. There are several methods to assess overall activity in the church, including the ratio of membership to congregations, seminary and institute enrollment, census data, temple construction, among others. We will use the ratio of membership to congregations and census data as an illustration. The church publishes membership totals and the number of congregations in its yearly statistical report at General Conference. Dividing the total membership by the total number of congregations gives an average number of members per congregation. Specific country averages can then be compared with the worldwide average. A high member-to-congregation ratio suggests high inactivity rates. If activity rates are high, the more congregations are created and the ratio of members to congregations drops. The nations listed are those with the highest ratio of membership to congregation based upon 2010 data. The worldwide average for that year was 493 members per congregation. This means that the ratio in Chile was almost 2 times the worldwide average. This strongly suggests that the reason the average congregation in Chile was not being split into smaller units was due to inactivity as well as the inability of the church to find enough leadership to staff new wards and branches. These 5 countries are the worst-case scenarios. The United States, the nation with the largest total membership, as might be expected, was just below the worldwide average. Activity rates can be estimated from the member-to-congregation ratio. Using the same 2010 data, Cumorah.com estimated that the average ward or branch worldwide had 148 active members, or 30% of the average membership achieved by the ratio. The same 5 nations had among the lowest estimated activity rates in the church. The United States was 10% above the worldwide average. If we apply the 30% estimated activity rate to the 15 million total members of the church, that would mean that there are approximately 4.5 million active members. Country census data can be used to indicate activity in the church as well. Many countries collect religious self-affiliation data where individuals identify themselves with a particular religion. The number of citizens of a particular country who identify themselves with a church can then be compared with the church's own membership numbers for that country. It would be expected that active members would self-identify with the church, while inactives might not. The table compares the religious self-identification census numbers with membership totals provided by the Church. The percentage provides a good indication of the active membership. We can't do this for all countries where there are members of the Church, since census data is not always available. Bear in mind that the percentages may be inflated, since many members often affiliate themselves with the Church but do not attend on a regular basis. The census numbers appear to be consistent with the numbers estimated from the member-congregation ratio. It appears that, no matter how activity is estimated, church activity rates are well below 40% worldwide. Even at a generous 40% activity rate, there are only 6 million active members. If the 30% activity rate is accurate, then there are only 4.5 million members. But these numbers do not paint the entire picture of what constitutes an active member. It is doubtful that all of these 4.5 to 6 million members are full tithe payers or temple recommend holders. If these criteria were factored in, there would be considerably fewer truly active members of the Church. This new total could hardly support President Uchtdorf's numerical measure of truthfulness.